Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. Today I have 20 of my best solar light Dollar Tree DIYs for you. Lots of creative ideas of things you can make with solar lights from Dollar Tree. So let's get started. For the first DIY, you just need an empty bottle of soda. I'm going to try it first with one of the smaller, just regular size bottles of soda and a Dollar Tree solar light. And I saw this idea online. I wanted to try it. My son said that he's home from college. He had the great idea of making jellyfish solar lights. He always has the best ideas. And so I wanted to try it with a bottle. So I just took the label off and cleaned it off. And then what I'm going to do is just paint stripes on it. So I'm using my Posca paint pens. I love these. These are really good paint pens. Are permanent, and as you can see, they're really easy to use. And I'm using like kind of a sky blue color and just kind of making lines along the sides of the bottle. And then I space those apart about 1 inch, and so about a halfway through each one, I'm going to go through with like this more aqua color. I've really been working on my Posca paint pen collection. I think I have just about every shade right now. I absolutely love these things. So I just alternated one of those in each one to paint the tentacles, kind of alternating different colors of blue. And then you just need to cut the top off the bottle. I start with just a razor blade and then just go in with my scissors and just cut the top off of the bottle. I made the stripes go about all the way to the end of where I think that the tentacles will go. And then the bottom of the soda bottle will become the top of the jellyfish. It's also going to hold the solar light. I am going to go ahead and poke some holes in the plastic first. I'm just using my Cricut weeder and a lighter to get it hot so I can kind of carve through that plastic. It actually worked surprisingly well doing it this way. I want to poke like 2 holes in the bottom of the bottle so I can like string some twine through there to make a hanger. If you want to make yours where it's like you can't really see it, you could always use fishing line, but I don't really care. I'm actually going to use these to like hang these like in trees and bushes, and so I don't really care if it's twine. I just feed it through the top like that inside the bottle where I can pull it through, and then I can just tie it together to form a hanger for our first jellyfish light. We're going to do a couple of these, a couple different varieties, and they were so much fun to make. These would be a great DIY to get like the little kids involved with too. I made my hanger a little bit shorter. Mine was a little bit on the long side. And then I'm just going to start cutting my jellyfish tentacles. What I'm doing is just cutting in the clear part of the bottle between my stripes. So I guess each one of the tentacles is probably about a 1/2 inch. I didn't really measure it, just kind of estimating it. And I do that all the way around. Now I'm going to be putting the top of the solar light up into the top of the jellyfish. So really the only thing I'm going to need is the very, very top of it. So I'm just going to kind of take it apart and then put it in there and melt the plastic around it. That's going to keep it in place. So I put it all the way in the end like that. This is just a regular soda bottle, so it's got like those bumps like on the bottom of it. That's going to be what the top of this jellyfish looks like. And then I gather all the tentacles together like that. And just using my heat gun, I am going to melt that plastic, kind of shrink wrapping the solar light in place. You don't have to use any glue or anything like this. And I got this idea from another YouTube video. I will try to remember to link it down in the description. I thought it was a really fun idea. So now the tentacles, you can see, are starting to kind of bend already on their own, just from a little bit exposure to the heat. And I'm going to bend them more, make them curly like jellyfish tentacles, but I don't want them kind of like all going every which way. So I actually just put a bottle in the middle. It's just like some adhesive remover. It doesn't matter what it is, just something to keep them kind of on the side where I want them to be. And I just go around with my heat gun, and as you can see, they melt and curl into like fun little tentacle patterns, just like that. And I really like using like the two different colors. It kind of differentiates them a little bit. Mine were a little tangled, and as you can see, they melt quite shorter than you would think. So this is kind of a small jellyfish. I'm also going to be showing you a larger option on this one, but it actually turned out pretty good. Just making sure everything is about the same length. You can always trim them if you want. I really like the tips of mine all curly like that. I think that gives like the jellyfish vibe. And then I thought maybe I should add a few details to the top of the solar light too. You can see the metal through there, but I'm just going to use those same blue colors. Just do some polka dots around, something simple, and maybe even like a little bit on the top. And then for my other color of blue, I just kind of came in and did some squiggly lines, something fun. Doesn't have to be that crazy. And a few polka dots on the top. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Our first solar light DIY. It is a tiny little jellyfish. So let me show you. This is what it looks like during the day. So I don't know if it's super obvious this is jellyfish during the day. But I'll also show you what it looks like at night and what it kind of looks like outside hanging in the bushes like in front of my house. I think it's really fun. But here you can kind of see with the solar light lit up how it's going to shine down on all of the little jellyfish tentacles and make them glow. Super whimsical and fun and very inexpensive. Just a recycled bottle and a $1.25 solar light from the Dollar Tree. And this is what it looks like hanging outside. This is the small jellyfish. And since the tentacles shrunk up so much, I decided I wanted to try to make a larger jellyfish to go with it by using a larger bottle. And here's another little sneak peek of that, all lit up. I think it looks great outside, and I can't wait to display it. So this is another bottle. This is a 1 liter. So you could do it with a soda. I thought maybe the Smart Water bottle would be good, or a water bottle in general, because it's flat. There's really not a lot of shape on this. So my tentacles will be all kind of straight before I curl them up. Now, the water bottle label left a lot of residue on there, but it was super easy to remove with some of that. It's kind of a new kind of glue gun material that they have from Dollar Tree, and I used that to clean up the bottle, and we can start DIYing this one. I'm going to switch up the colors. I'm going to use that same like sky blue color, but I'm going to mix it up with some of this like dark blue to kind of give this one a different vibe. And then just starting a couple inches from the bottom, I work my way up to the top with another 1 inch like tentacles, kind of alternating those around, making sure my line is nice and thick. So you're going to be able to see that coloring on the tentacles. And I actually like that color a little bit better than the first one that I used. Really shows up well at night. And then I just go in, and every half an inch, I guess, I do the light blue to do the tentacles on this one. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just adding some color to add some fun to the jellyfish tentacles. And out of the 2 DIYs I did prefer this one better. The longer bottle, it did make longer tentacles, really gave you that jellyfish effect. So again, all you have to do is poke a hole right about here and cut off the top of your water bottle. And then I'm going to poke holes in the top of this one, which is the bottom of the bottle, like I did before. This worked really well. The Cricut weeders are pretty sharp. You could use probably about anything you have that's going to have a sharp, pointy surface on there. But getting it hot definitely works well. I know a lot of people do this with their hot glue gun, but my hot glue gun tip does not seem to get that hot. And then I'm just going to feed the twine in to make a hanger for this one. I'm going to display both of these together. They're so cute. I think I might make some more just because they're so whimsical and fun. And you know, the solar light will be protected inside the bottle, so I think it'll last a long time. So just like before, I'm going to cut like 1/2 inch strips. So I'm just cutting about halfway between my blue lines all the way up. leaving a couple of inches there in the top for the solar light. And you're just going to want any of the round solar lights. I found that the regular size like this solar light from the Dollar Tree fit in this 1 liter bottle a little bit better than it did on the smaller one because it's kind of got a flatter bottom and you can kind of push it all the way up. It's nice and wide. So just like before, I pop it in there and then I'm just going to kind of shrink wrap it in there. Kind of get the tentacles out of the way, but just trying to shrink wrap it, make it hold it strong, and the recycled plastic is really easy to melt. I was surprised at how well this worked. I'm thinking you could probably do the same thing with a blow dryer. I'm not sure if a blow dryer is quite as warm, but it was really easy to do with a heat gun, and they're so inexpensive. I got mine on Amazon. I think I have the one I use linked below in my Amazon shop. I really love this one. I've went through quite a few of these, and this is definitely my favorite one. So again, I just popped a bottle in the middle just to kind of keep a little bit of semblance of my tentacles going every which direction. And then I just start running the heat up and down them until they start melting into all kinds of curly, crazy tentacle patterns. And they're all a little bit different, the way that they go and the way that they melt. It's really kind of fun, kind of unpredictable, and probably every single one of these you make would be a little bit unique. And it's a great way to recycle a bottle, and you're only using that $1.25 solar light, so super inexpensive to make. You can make as many of these as you want. I'm just trying to get mine curled exactly the way I like it. And then I like how I decorated the first one a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here. We're going to do like maybe a different like little polka dot pattern around, and I can do some polka dots here on the top as well. And then maybe some squiggly lines. Maybe I'll go up and down this time. But again, just adding those same blue colors that I added everywhere else. And a jellyfish can have any kind of a pattern on there. They're really quite beautiful. And they do glow up, a lot of the bioluminescent ones. And that's how it turned out. So this is a larger version of the jellyfish, a solar light. The tentacles are much longer. I wonder what it would look like if you could do, I don't know, a 2-liter bottle would probably be too big, but it's an option. Maybe even if you had a larger solar light, that would be good. But this is how the tentacles look lit up in their fun curvy pattern down there. And you can see how well the top of it did a shrink wrap in the plastic water bottle. And the hanger works great. I made them nice and long so I can hang them from this tree outside my house. And this is what the two of them look like together. Aren't they so cute? I really love them. They really kind of look like sculpted glass, like blown glass. And they don't look like water bottles at all. But I thought they were really fun. What do you guys think about the jellyfish lights? We're going to use 3 of the sunflower solar lights. And then I also picked up some coneflowers from the Dollar Tree and just a galvanized metal flower pot. And I wanted to show you how you can make a really fun little pot just with a few supplies from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just preparing the galvanized metal with some fingernail polish remover to get any of the coating off of that so that I can paint it. I am also going to tape off the twine. I like the twine on there, but I wanted to give some color to this galvanized metal pot, something that would go, coordinate with the yellow flowers. So I'm going to use a turquoise color. So this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to protect the twine to keep any paint off of it. And then to avoid any brush strokes or anything like that, I'm just going to daub on the acrylic paint in turquoise with one of those little stencil daubers from Dollar Tree all over. And I'm going for kind of a rustic feel, so I'm not looking for perfect lines or anything on this. I'm just looking for a pop of blue and something that's really going to contrast nicely with all of that yellow. So if you had an existing plant, you could also, kind of work those little flower shaped solar lights in. I'm going to show you how to DIY just a little faux plant here. I'm going to put this on my front porch next to my door. I think it's going to look bright and fun for summer. And I need to kind of replace some of my 4th of July stuff that I had out there. So that looks good. One coat was all it took. And then I am going to weigh down the bottom since I'm using it outside just with some Dollar Tree stones just to give a little bit of weight to it since those pots are not very heavy. And you can use whatever you want to fill it. I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree potting soil because it's going to be outside. It'll kind of make it look, more realistic. And I kind of have some. So I just burn off all the fuzzies on my twine, clean that up a little bit since I painted it, and then fill it up with that potting soil. This is going to be a great filler that I can then put the faux flowers into and the yard stakes, the solar stakes. And I'm going to be able to leave it all together like that. So no construction of the actual solar lights. We're going to leave those together. I love them. The potting soil I had from Dollar Tree was really dry, so I'm just going to put a little water in there just to make it easier to work with. And you really don't have to worry about drilling holes in the bottom of those galvanized metal pots because they do leak. And then these are the coneflowers that I bought. I bought 3 packages of them. I thought they were bright and fun. I was looking more for sunflowers, but I'm kind of glad I found these instead. I really like them. But if you have sunflowers, I think it would be really cute too. For the first bundle, I just went ahead and I'm just cutting them all off, right where they all come together, using my Dollar Tree floral scissors. And I just kind of wanted to see how much I could fit in here and how tall everything needed to be with the yard stakes, because again, I wanted to kind of leave them intact. So when I try one of the little solar stakes here, I can kind of figure out where I want to go with how tall everything needs to be. So I think I'm going to leave the other 2 bundles all together so that they will be taller. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these so I can kind of see what I'm doing with this. And it's still kind of a little bit dry, so I'm going to add just a little bit more water. But I'm just going to go ahead and take these 2 coneflower bundles and just leave them as is. I'm just going to spread them out, make them look nice. Remember, if you have any Dollar Tree flowers that are kind of all bent up and stuff like that, you can really iron them really well with just a heat gun. It works really well. But these were actually in really good condition. So I just put both bundles in there. That provided me a nice amount of height. That's about the same height as the solar flowers. And then I just filled in all the other areas with the pieces that we cut down. So we have all those. Now it's just a matter of prepping all the solar lights. One tip on Dollar Tree solar lights is to check them to see if they work in store, because you don't want to get home with a dud. You have to pull the little battery thing out. And then I just go ahead and place the little yellow flower solar lights in. It's so cute because this is going to be great decoration for the day, and it's also going to light up at night. That's going to look great on my porch. So we're going to be mixing it up today with lots of summer themes like this, like flowers, coastal beach stuff, of course, bees, things like that. So I just went ahead and put 3 in there. I like to work with odd numbers like that. I think it just makes it look a little bit better. The little sunflowers with the bright yellow coneflowers displayed in a really cute little turquoise pot. I was really impressed with how easy it was to paint that pot. I thought maybe I was going to need to use some spray paint, and I was a little hesitant to paint on the metal whether it would stick, but it actually did a great job. And then this is what it looks like at night. So it's even pretty at night. I love that. Anytime you can light up outdoor flowers for a nighttime experience is my favorite. So again, day, and then we also have night. I love those solar lights. I think they're so cool, and they had so many fun ones this year. If you're enjoying today's video, be sure to hit that like button. It always helps my videos do better here on YouTube. Okay, for the next DIY, I picked up 2 of the glass candle holders from the Dollar Tree. One of these, is that a vase? Maybe a vase, and just a regular solar light in silver. I want to turn that upside down and cover it with some of these glass gems from the Dollar Tree to make it look like a lampshade. So I want to make a really beautiful outdoor lamp, and I love how this turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and take my 2 candlesticks. I'm going to leave them clear glass. I think that's cool. I'm going to stick one on top of the other one upside down like that. And since it's glass and I want it to be durable, I'm using a really strong glue. This is the Gorilla Glue Clear Grip. And I go ahead and glue that together, letting that sit up, making sure I didn't have any excess glue coming out on the sides. I love how this turned out. These glass gems are so pretty. I'm going to use a couple different kinds because I wanted like a teal, but also kind of like a clear. I didn't really want to do the frosted with this. I didn't think the solar light would be strong enough to light up the frosted part. So I'm going to kind of alternate, and then I'm going to have it upside down like this. So it's just a matter of, taking the sticker off the bottom of it, which can be easier said than done. I got a good adhesive remover from Dollar Tree recently that works really good. It's just kind of like a Goo Gone. And we got that cleaned up. I'm going to leave the top clear so that my solar light will still charge underneath of it. And then it's a matter of attaching it. Now, the first time I tried this, I just used the Gorilla Glue and they fell off like immediately. So I'm going to have to switch it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put the clear grip glue on there so it can start to get tacky. And then I'm actually going to put the hot glue on the actual glass. And the combination of glues did the trick because otherwise they're just going to fall off. So I'm alternating like that turquoise blue with like that clear glass. And I'm going to alternate that all the way around. So I've already got that clear grip Gorilla Glue on the glass beads and then just doing a dot of hot glue on this. And I'm just kind of working where I can around the edge. I can't go all the way up against the edge because it's kind of beveled, the side of the vase there. But I'm just going to continue this, gluing these all the way down. And this turned out so pretty. And when it's lit up at night, it's going to look gorgeous. You could put this out in your landscaping. You could put it like on your tables or wherever you want to sit your outdoor decor at your home. I think it looks really elegant. I think I'm going to put it in my Florida room. Sometimes I don't get enough light in there, depending on if I have my curtains shut or not. But I think this is going to look really pretty out there. So I did kind of measure the last three to see if I was going to be able to repeat my pattern all the way across, and luckily I was. So now it's just kind of a matter of going through these, finding the colors that I need to continue that pattern all the way around. And I counted, it was a total of 14 went around the bottom. Now I'm going to continue 14 for every row and just kind of do stripes down. I know it's going to get wider towards the bottom of the lampshade, but I didn't want to mess up my pattern at all. It's not going to be that much wider, so I just go ahead and put the Gorilla Glue on all of them in advance. And then I kind of switched up. I figured I could do about 2 at a time here. The only problem with that is my hot glue was getting a little stringy. So you might want to kind of clean that up as you go. If it's just a little piece sticking out, I noticed that if I use my heat gun, it will kind of shrink back where it should be. But I don't care if you're going to be able to see some of the glue. I'm more concerned with them being properly adhered and staying on there. And the hot glue seemed to be the trick. I know you're not really supposed to mix glues together, but just using the clear grip, even though it's tacky, they would not stay on the sides of the glass. They just all fell right off. So I'm going to do another row of 14. So 7 of the teal, 7 of the clear. And you can mix it up. You could do like more than one of these. You could do like stripes. I'm wondering what the frosted ones would look like. I know the solar lights it's going to be inside this, so I didn't know if it would be strong enough really to light up the frosted ones, which is why I kind of wanted to go with the clear ones. But I think they turned out really pretty, and I've been looking for a craft to use these little glass gems with. I've had them forever, but Dollar Tree does still carry them, but I don't craft with them often. I think one reason is probably because I thought they were kind of hard to glue, but I think I found a method that actually works pretty well. Hopefully this is going to hold up outside. So I need more clear ones. I found some more clear ones in a package I had with some of the green gems. They do come in all different colors if you'd like to switch up the color scheme. I love this coastal blue color. It's my favorite. It goes with all my coastal decor. And as you can see, I stagger. So if I had a clear one before underneath of it, I do like a teal one like that. And I'm spacing these out a little bit because this, of course, this is the widest part of my little lampshade. Now with all this glass on there, it really does make it kind of a heavy duty piece. I think it's going to do really well standing up outside. So they're all staying on really well. The hot glue really helped. And I just use my heat gun to try to shrink up any hot glue that you might be able to see. And then I just pop the top off of one of the Dollar Tree solar lights. It can be any of them that just has the top come off like that. And I'm going to glue it inside. So this is going to protect it. It will still charge in there under the glass. And so I use some of that Gorilla Glue there on the sides, trying not to cover up the solar panel itself. And then I'm also going to put some of that glue here on the metal part. And then I am going to glue this on the inside. After I DIY'd this, I did store it upside down for a couple hours to make sure this part was really glued in place because I didn't use any hot glue with that part. And then this is going to be the stand for our lamp, just making sure I'm going to be able to get it in there. It's a little odd because it's not like a perfect circle, but I think we're going to be able to make it work. So I have it in there. My solar light works great. And it's just a matter of putting it all together now. For this one, I decided to alternate. So I'm going to do like the Gorilla Glue clear group every other one. And then I'll go back and fill in the other places with some hot glue just to get me started, since it is kind of an odd fit. And sit my lampshade right on top. But it's a little bit easier to work with if you kind of just flip it over. I did have kind of gaps because of the shape is not a circle. So I went in with some more of that Gorilla Clear grip. And I just went in with a paintbrush and kind of pushed it down. I'm trying to fill up all of the holes that could be remaining. I want as much adhesion as I can get to make it stronger, all together one piece. So then I also went in with hot glue and went around as well just to make sure that this is going to stay together. That lampshade is pretty heavy, so I wanted to make sure it didn't fall apart outside, which is why I'm using the Gorilla Glue as well, because of course the hot glue will soften up a little bit outside in the sun. But let me give you a little look of how our little lamp turned out. I think it's so cute. It looks like a little lampshade. And this is how it turned out. There is the little lampshade with the candle holder stem. That made a perfect little lamp. Very cute. And I just absolutely love how this looks lit up at night. So let me show you that. Look at the beautiful pattern all of that like crystal-like glass gives you. And you're also going to get a pattern from all of those beautiful stones on there. I really love the blue colors, and I think they look so cute. Definitely one of my favorite solar light DIYs from today. So again, day and night. Really fun. I hope you enjoyed that one as well. Now the next DIY is, I'm going to do this outdoors, but sometimes you want something that is not solar, like especially if you're working on a porch that doesn't get a lot of light. So Dollar Tree has these right now, these little battery operated lights that I thought I could make a really cool light too, that I wouldn't need any sun for. So it requires 3 AA batteries. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those in there. And I'm going to do like a bee theme on this one using one of those cute little bee summer glasses from Dollar Tree. So pop the batteries in there. The great thing about this is it's got an on-off switch. You can turn it on and off. And then I'm going to actually put the glass on it upside down. Just a matter of removing this tag from the bottom of my glass. The pattern on the bee cup is fine upside down or right side up. It doesn't matter because of course the bees can be kind of flying any direction. So look how that fits on there just perfectly. And I think it looks so much better than the piece that came on it. And my son really got a kick out of this. He really liked this piece. Now for the greenery, I picked up some of this plastic foliage from Dollar Tree. And it's these like long, like fronds. I thought this would look really cute in there because it's going to kind of go with the pattern on the cup. But instead of black, it's going to be green. And I'm just trying to figure out how many I want to put in there. They fit in there really nicely. I think I'm going to do a total of 3 of them in there. But I do need them to kind of stand up. One thing I want to cover up is the little metal screws that you see there. So I'm actually just going to glue those on there. But I wanted to make sure that they were all going to fit in the cup. So let me go ahead and get one more. I was able to leave them intact. That is what I'm talking about, like kind of gluing them to the screw. Just with a dot of hot glue so they'll stand straight up. The cup will also help keep them upright, but this is going to keep them in the position that I wanted them to be in. And there's 3 screws on there, and we're going to do 3 pieces of greenery. This solar light DIY could not be any easier. If you have any like faux bees or anything like that, feel free to put them in there, or like little yellow flowers would be cute too. But I was trying not to cover up the light in the middle. And then I just place the cup on there upside down, turn it on, and look at that. You could glue it in place. It's a pretty tight fit though, so I just kind of left mine where I can still get to it if I need to. I just slid it on there. But this is how it looks during the daytime. Our little bee solar light. The greenery in there definitely helps, and it doesn't block any of the light. Let me show you how it looks lit up at night. Isn't this so beautiful? I love it, and I love a bee theme for spring or summer. I've done lots of bee DIYs here on my channel. It's definitely one of my favorites along with coastal. But I think it turned out really cute. My son really liked this one. Definitely look for those little lights. My Dollar Trees have them right now at checkout, but they also have them around the store I've seen. I don't know why they have them at checkout. Sometimes they just leave things up there. Okay, the next DIY, I picked up one of these fun little like square window solar lights and one of these blue plastic vases from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to make a really easy little lighthouse for an outdoor solar light that turned out just so cute. I love these little plastic vases. They're really a nice size. They're pretty sturdy. And I am going to make it a lighthouse. From vacation in Door County, Wisconsin. And where we were staying in Sturgeon Bay, they actually have a square lighthouse. So sometimes I craft square lighthouses, but usually I see round ones. But I was like, oh, great, there really are square lighthouses out there. So I love the blue color, and that part's going to light up a little bit. So I want to leave that intact, but I also want to do stripes. So I'm just using some painter's tape. The only time I have to be a little tricky is around the corners a little bit there, just to make sure all my stripes stay straight. I have to kind of just bend it there at the corners. But I want it to have like blue and white stripes going down it. They have these faces in clear and probably some other colors as well if you want to mix up the colors. The stripe pattern is probably going to be your easiest way to paint them. And I'm just doing straight across like this. So I'm going to have a blue stripe, a white stripe, a blue stripe, and then I'm gonna, I think I have room for another little blue stripe here at the bottom. So only one piece of tape here, otherwise I kind of doubled everything up to make my stripes nice and large. And then I'm gonna paint it with just some acrylic paint. And the stencil dauber worked really well for the pot that we used, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it on this one and just kind of dabble the ivory acrylic paint on there to give me some white stripes, and it seemed to work pretty good. I didn't get any brush strokes or anything like that. You could always spray paint it too if you wanted to. So this part won't like let any light through, but all of the blue parts will. So that will look really cute lit up at night. And I think that solar light makes the perfect top for a lighthouse. I'm going to make it really simple because it's going to go outdoors. I don't want a lot of details that are going to weather or anything like that. But I think this plastic will definitely hold up well in the outdoor Florida weather. So I just went over both of those sections where I want the ivory stripes. And if I see any blue coming through, I just kind of go over it again. Give it a quick dry here with my heat gun. And it's gonna not be super heavy. I guess you could weigh it down if you needed to, but I thought with it being open like that, I kind of put it down in the mulch and stuff like that in my landscaping, and it should stay put. So I gave it a second coat wherever I needed, and now we can go ahead and start preparing the top. So it has this on there, which is going to kind of get in the way. So I decided just to remove it. It does pop out. There's these little plastic tabs that kind of keep it in. And I was having trouble getting it out just one side, so I just used like a little Cricut scraper, and I just went ahead and popped the bottom off. Now the paint is getting dry on my lighthouse. I'm going to go ahead and remove all my painter's tape. and reveal that really cute lighthouse pattern on here. I recently made like a square lighthouse shelf, like tier tray on my channel. It turned out so cute. This kind of reminded me of it. It's being a square blue and white lighthouse. And my painter's tape did pretty good. There was a couple places that had a little bit of bleeding. I'm just going to take a baby wipe and kind of clean up my lines a little bit. Make everything look really good. I'm not going to do windows or anything on there, but you totally could if you wanted to. Again, just using some painter's tape, you could get some perfectly like square rectangular windows on there. And then we're going to put this at the top. Now, the little plastic windows is actually like a little box inside there, and it doesn't really want to stay in place since I removed the bottom from it. So to fix that, I'm just going to glue that in place, because I do want this to be closed. I want the plastic windows in there. So I just use a little hot glue all the way around and glue it to the plastic cage, since I'm not going to have a bottom on there. And I really didn't want to have a bottom on it because I wanted to light up the rest of the lighthouse too. So then I go around the top there, or the bottom of it, with more hot glue once that's set up. And I glue that directly to my lighthouse. I told you it was going to be easy. Check out this really cute lighthouse solar light. This is what it looks like during the day. Really cute. I definitely recommend a colored vase if you can find it. And do some kind of pattern on it. Stripes, you could do a spiral stripe around it if you wanted to. But this is what it looks like lit up at night. Look at that really cool pattern that it kind of displays with the light. I think it's so pretty, and the whole lighthouse lights up, not just the top, since it kind of goes through that tinted plastic there on the bottom of the vase. I was really happy how this turned out. It's pretty simple, but I kind of like the simplicity of it. I think it's really cute. What do you guys think? Okay, the next DIY, I wanted to do like another bee one. So I picked up one of these, like it's kind of like a candle solar light they have from the Dollar Tree with the solar lights this year. A plastic clothe and a black candlestick from Dollar Tree. And I wanted to do another bee theme with this one. So I want to have this be on top of the candle holder, and we can put that little solar, I'm going to call it a solar candle, in there, and then kind of decorate it with like some lavender, some bees. I think we can make this look really cute. Now this cloche had this little plastic tab on the bottom that kind of got in the way. I just broke mine off with a hammer so I could avoid dealing with it, so I can lay that flat on the candle holder without having to interfere with it. And then for the bee theme, I have some of this honeycomb ribbon from the Dollar Tree that I thought would be perfect. Give it a little touch of gold and bring in the bee theme right here on the sides of that little plastic cloche. I am going to hot glue it all the way around. I'm using hot glue. I find that works really well with like fabrics and ribbons and stuff like that. And just line it with the honeycombs. And I like that the black plastic bottom for the cloche is black, and the candlestick is black, and that little bottom of the solar light is black too. So that'll go with my like golden black theme for the bee theme. So I'm going to use a couple different kinds of glue. I go around the outer rim where it's the highest with some of that Gorilla Glue clear grip. And then I put some hot glue around the sides just to get it going. Trying not to mix them together. I put the bottom of the cloche on there like that. And it fits on there perfectly now that I got rid of that little tab. So that is the base for the solar light. It has like a little on-off switch in it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. We're going to make sure this works. And then I'm going to attach it so it kind of stays put on here. And then I want to do some flowers around it. And I'm going to show you how to make some really cute little miniature bees. So that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and glue it in place with a little bit of the Gorilla Glue and hot glue. And I'm using a lot of the Gorilla Glue because these are going to be outdoor projects and I want them to hold up. Now, this is the lavender from Dollar Tree. It's kind of a white flower with some purple on the end. It's not my favorite lavender, but I think it's going to work well for this because it's not super colorful and I kind of have that yellow and black theme going on with this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut like off a little sprig of the lavender. And I can have it here on the side of the solar candle, but I'm going to have to glue it like directly to it so that I have room to put that cloche on the top of it. And I do like to work with like odd numbers, so I think I'm going to do like a total of 3 of them. I want to make sure that they're not too tall because I want them to fit underneath that cloche. And then I'm going to have little bees landing on them for my bee theme. So it's going to be really cute in the daytime too. So that looks pretty good. Let me go ahead and do a third one. I tried to do it a little taller, but that would not fit with the cloche. So make sure before you glue everything in place. I'm going to do them all about the same size. And just a little hot glue there on the side of my solar candle. I really like those. I had never really seen these like solar lights before at Dollar Tree. And then I have all this leftover greenery, and so I might as well use it. I'm just going to hot glue it in place, kind of overlapping to cover the rest of the bottom of the cloche to give it just some more greenery and fun and like less of the black plastic. So I just work my way around using all of those leaves and filling it in nicely. There's not a lot of room for flowers, so whatever flowers you're going to need to use are going to need to be rather smaller, skinny like that. Now for the bees, I've done this in one of my other videos. I wasn't able to find the little bees at Dollar Tree this year, so I have been DIYing them with some of this yellow pom-pom trim from the Dollar Tree. So I just kind of try to squeeze it into more of an oval shape. And then I have some of that black hardware wire from a Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go around and make little stripes on my bee like that. That's also going to keep that shape and prevent it from being round. I cut it off so I had an antenna and then took the excess piece to give me like one more antennae on there and kind of use that to finish it off, trimming up the wire. And I have a cute little body of the bee. We are going to go back and add some little wings on there as well. I love making little miniatures like that. This is actually such an easy bee, but it really looks cute. And the fact that it's fuzzy like a little bee makes it look cute too. For this one, I started and I wrapped it around, leaving one piece open for the antenna, and then pulled that around to twist tie it so that I wouldn't have to do a separate piece for the antenna. And that method worked a little bit better, I think. For the wings, I have this like ribbon from the Dollar Tree that's kind of cool. It kind of looks like snakeskin or something like that, but you can use whatever you have, something like translucent or even clear. And all you're going to have to do is cut down some little hearts. I'm going to do 2 little hearts. I cut them back to back so I can kind of get them the same kind of size and scale for each one of our little bee miniatures. We can't have a bee without wings, so, and then to attach them, I just do a little dot of hot glue on the back and then just stick the tips of the hearts in. I'm going to do like the pretty side of the fabric up like that of the ribbon. And you can kind of arrange them to make it look like the little bee is flying. I'm trying to show you what they look like. Pretty cute. And then I'm just going to attach it to the lavender with a little dot of hot glue to make sure it stays in place. This one's going to be visible like from the front of it. And then I just need to go ahead and put the wings here on my second one. My son really got a kick out of these bee DIYs. He loves anything with nature or anything like that, so he really got a kick out of these. I'm going to glue this one here to the back one so you can still see it from the front. I'm only going to do 2, so it's just not so symmetrical to be on all 3. But this is what it looks like without the cloche on there. It's super cute. And then to protect everything, we're just going to pop the plastic cloche right here on top, making sure that all of the flowers and leaves are inside. And it sits on there pretty tightly. I think that's fine. I don't think I need to glue it on or anything like that. And we have another fun summer solar light DIY. Really charming with the little bees and the lavender in there. And that little solar operated candle is quite a find. I love that. And it's really cute. So the candlestick provided a great base to lift it up. And I love that honeycomb ribbon on there. It's so cute. It looks really cool lit up at night as well. Let me show you how that looks. That little candle in there was rather bright. The fact that I put the greenery around it really didn't take away from it. It still lights it up really well. And it looks really cute on my patio for summer. So again, this is what it looks like during the day, and this is what it looks like at night. Really fun little idea for a solar light candle. Now, the next one, I picked up one of these metal candle holders. I thought this would be a great base for a solar light project. And then I picked up one of these new solar lights. It kind of looks dimpled, kind of like a golf ball almost. They also had like a diamond one, and it's got the solar light panel on the top. I'm not going to need the handle since I'm going to be putting it on the candlestick, so I just go ahead and pop that off. I don't really want it to be black though, because I want this one to be really pretty blue. I'm going to use some of those gorgeous blue marbles from the Dollar Tree. And so I'm going to paint it like a corresponding color. This one is called Seaside. It's just something blue. I didn't really care what shade, but I think this actually turned out really good with the marbles. So I just use a little piece of painter's tape to protect the light. And I put both pieces upside down, and we're going to spray paint them. The plastic and the metal both spray paint great, and definitely easier than trying to paint these. Whenever I do like a metal DIY like this, I really like to spray paint them. And I also want to do the underside of this because you're going to be able to see it from inside. So I don't want any of that black to be visible, but I also wanted to protect that light to make sure it's not covered with spray paint. I give that a quick dry with my heat gun, and then I'm going to flip those upside down and paint them from the other direction. That way they are all painted that beautiful seaside blue. Now I do need to protect the solar panel, so I had just like an extra piece of, this is like a tag from one of the solar lights, and I just kind of try to cut it down to size. And what I did was just attach it with some double-sided tape there to try to protect that. I thought that would be easier than doing painter's tape. I did notice that I did get more spray in there than if I would have used painter's tape, so you might want to use painter's tape instead. And again, I just give them one coat of this beautiful seaside, spin them around so I can make sure I get both of them. I like to try to show you guys when I spray paint. I do work in my garage, so it's fine to spray paint out there, but I don't really want to go outside and paint because it's harder to film for you guys, so this seems to work pretty well, just putting them in a box. That looks good. So what I'm going to do is start working on the top part of it as well. I'm going to go ahead and set these aside and let them dry. I gave them a little head start with the heat gun, but they really need some time. Now, this is what I mean by the overspray. So I did have to go in there with a baby wipe and kind of clean that up. Any of the paint that was on the solar light just to make it look nicer and to make the solar light work better. And then I also, when I was doing that, I kind of bumped it a little bit. So I just sprayed some spray paint on a paintbrush and touched up any mistakes. And then this is the top. It's already got those glass dimples in there. I think the combination of that and these beautiful blue marbles from the Dollar Tree are gonna give me a really fun light pattern at night that fits perfectly on that Dollar Tree candlestick. And then this lid still fits on there. All you gotta do is just kind of put it in there. It fits nice and snug. And then I just need to glue it to the candle holder. I think this will hold up well outside with the metal and the plastic. I'm going to use some of the Gorilla Glue clear grip here on the bottom and some hot glue in the middle and glue these two pieces together. That'll give me that long-term, fast-term hold there. It was really easy to put together. I think it looks really pretty. You can use this in your landscaping. You could also use this as a table topper. It's really pretty during the daytime with the different colors of blue. I like the dimpled glass on those. Those solar lights were new to me too. I don't think I've ever seen them before. They had so many this year, and I'm still finding more at the Dollar Tree. Look how beautiful that looks at night. I'm so glad that I painted everything blue to kind of correspond. It's a nicer color than the black when you're going with more of like a coastal vibe with your decor for sure. But I think it turned out really pretty and it has a great pattern. Okay, the next DIY, I picked up one of these fancy solar lights from the Dollar Tree and one of the fish bottles in the teal color. I really love this solar light. I love the pattern that this provides, but I don't think the black itself is coastal. So what we're going to do is take it apart and paint it. I thought if I painted it white or like an ivory color, it's going to make it look so much more coastal. I'm just cutting out a piece of cardboard from a pizza or a soda box just to cover the solar light part there. It's just a little bit easier way to tape that down so that I can go in and paint these. I'm going to spray paint because that's going to be so much easier to get in the solar light and all the pattern on there. And I'm just going to paint it this sand dollar color. It's kind of a cross between white and ivory. It's pretty light. It's definitely coastal looking. And I'm just spraying it to get it in the pattern, then going ahead and attaching the pole. I'm going to go ahead and use that. That's going to come in handy for this DIY. And I'm also going to spray the inside because you can kind of see through it a little bit so that the whole thing is going to look ivory. I'm going to do this same thing here with the top. And I'm only painting like the very top of that. The inside of it can be black. You're not really going to be able to see that part of it. And the humidity is back in Florida because the spray paint was taking forever to dry for me. That always drives me crazy with all the humidity. So I'm going to pop the lid back on this. It looks really pretty. It looks a lot different this color, doesn't it? And this already has like a white fish on the front of it tied to it. So I think that's going to look really cute. I want to kind of put it in like this and make a little light fixture, but I want to weigh it down a little bit. Just with some pebbles. I have some blue pebbles. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to be able to see them. And I'm just going to put those inside the bottle just to weigh it down. Just because it's going to be outside, I don't want it to blow over. It's also going to give me something to put the post of the solar light into. So I just put that in there, work that down inside the gravel to hold it in place. I don't need to use really any glue or anything. It's a pretty tight fit. I think it's going to stay in place. And it just made a really pretty coastal light. Let me go ahead and remove the cardboard. It does leak a little bit doing it that way, but it's definitely easier than taping it off. But I cleaned it up and this is how it turned out. Now, it's pretty during the daytime, but at night it just gives the most magnificent pattern. It's so pretty for a Dollar Tree solar light. If you can't find this exact one, if you could find any of the blue ones, I think that's going to be really pretty and coastal. And look at that pattern. I absolutely love that. So I have the nautical pilings in front of my house with this beautiful pattern. I'm going to have to put this one, I think, out on my back porch somewhere. But I think that the white was definitely a good idea to repaint it. It definitely looks way more coastal than it did in the black plastic. Now, this is a new solar light I've never seen before at Dollar Tree. I was so excited to pick it up. It's got like a little square lantern that's got solar powered twinkle lights in it. And it also comes with the post, the hook, everything you need. So for $1.25, I thought that was a great deal. I'm going to give mine a little bit of a coastal makeover. Again, it's black plastic and I'm not a big fan of that for coastal, so we're going to paint it. I just went ahead and took it apart, took the little plastic part out, and these are all the pieces to the pole and stuff like that. I'm going to suspend mine in just a Dollar Tree metal bucket, a blue one. I thought that would look nice and beachy, but you could always suspend this in a plant pot or your landscaping. It's definitely tall enough. And we're just going to go ahead and spray paint this. I'm going to spray paint it this same color that I did the last one with that sand dollar spray paint. And first I'm just going to tape off the little twinkly lights so they don't get paint on them. And I need to paint kind of all of the pieces to this. So I'm going to need to paint the top. So again, I'm just cutting some more of that cardboard down to cover that up, tape that on top. And I'm going to cover like the box of the lantern. I'm also going to be painting the pole and stuff like that. So everything looks that ivory color. And that combined with that beachy blue pale, I think is going to look really cute and coastal. So again, this is an ultra matte. I really prefer the matte spray paints over the glossy. I just think it looks a little bit more coastal. I'm trying to give that a good coat of paint with the hanger like kind of standing up so I can get that painted on both sides. And then I'm painting the little basket of the lantern. It was really easy to take all this apart to paint it and give it a different vibe. If you like the black, it's really cute in black as well. But if you're going for a coastal vibe, I just don't think black really goes with it. So I just put together the plastic pole for it like that. And I'm going to go ahead and paint that as well. While I've got the spray paint out in my box. This box has been in a lot of videos now. It might be getting worn out. I'm going to have to find something else to paint in. It's really hard to find a box that will fit on my workspace under my camera where I can show you guys everything, because I hate having to take everything outside and then you guys don't get to see the whole process. So here is the hook that holds it. I'm going to go ahead and spray paint that ivory as well. And I'm going to kind of spray paint everything except for the very stake part of it, because you won't be able to see that. I actually end up not even using that part of it. I'm going to flip over the lantern and spray paint it again. That way I can get all of the inside of the lantern too. And that looks way better. Let me get a little bit over on this side and just trying to make sure I have everything painted. I also painted kind of on the inside lip of the top of it as well, anywhere that might be visible. And now it is time to try to get these dry and put this together. I was having impatience because I needed to get this video out. So I filled the tin pail up with just some rocks I have from Dollar Tree and some gravel. And then I'm going to top it off with sand. That way it looks like a beachy bucket full of sand and shells is what I was going for. But I wanted it to be way down because it's going to be outside too. And then I need to put my pole in there. I was trying to decide if I should have put my pole in there first before I put the rocks in there. And I probably should have. I tried it first with the stake. And I really wasn't getting anywhere with it. So I'm actually going to remove that. And I lost some of my sand down in the gravel, but I just went ahead and removed the stake, kind of worked that down into the rocks so that uses that to stand it up to kind of make it sturdier. And I'm just going to have to replace the sand that kind of all went down in it. I'm going to secure it with a little bit of hot glue. And then I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree tan sand for the top. Now, if you're worried about losing your sand for the top, you can always use some adhesive spray glue. They do have that at Dollar Tree that you can kind of spray on there to kind of help keep your sand in there. I'm just going to kind of skip it and just let it be sand. I can always replace it if I need to. And then just some seashells from my stash. I'm going to use some larger ones and scatter those around so it looks like a little beach bucket with sand and seashells inside of it. Makes it look really coastal. I slide in the little plastic cube back inside the lantern. And then I just have to untape my twinkle lights. So this is a solar light, but the solar light, instead of just having one light, has all these little twinkle lights. So I really can't believe this was only $1.25, a really good deal. And I'm just going to put those down back inside it. And the lid just twists on, it screws on like a lid. And we can remove the cardboard from the top, clean up any of the excess. It's got the little hanger on there already, and then I can just hook that on the loop. This turned out so cute and beachy and really versatile. You could use this so many different places. I think I might use this on the table next to my front door. But look how pretty it looks in that white color. And the little beachy pail of seashells and sand really complements the coastal look. Here it is lit up at night. It was kind of hard to get a good picture of this one, but look how pretty that looks. I think this is going to look really good outside. And I was really impressed with how well it turned out. It seems fairly sturdy. And again, it's made out of plastic, so if it does tip over, nothing's really going to happen with it. Now for the next DIY, the little message in a bottle. And I thought that would be the perfect easy solar light. I got this one. It's kind of the more turquoisey teal color one. They had different colors. I'm just going to put some sand in the bottom of it. I'm still going to do the message in the bottle. I think that's really cute. But I thought adding some sand and some of those little tiny seashells from the Dollar Tree in the bottom is going to make it look even more coastal. This is the little message in a bottle. It's perfect. It's got like a little plastic seashell on it and some twine wrapped around it. And then this is actually the solar light from Dollar General. If you'll notice, it's a lot smaller. It has an on and off switch, and these are only $1. So if you can't find any that are the right size at Dollar Tree, be sure to check Dollar General, because I kind of like the smaller size for this one for a more slender bottle like this. And the on and off switch is great too if you have it where you can kind of get to that. But I'm going to hot glue mine on, kind of make it more permanent. And then I'm going to add some twine here to the neck of the bottle. I'm just going to tie that on and wrap it around just to give it another little fun little beachy touch. I wrap it around until I'm happy with it and then just glue down my loose end. And I put seashells in the bottom. There's a seashell on a little message in the bottle, but you can't have enough seashells. So let's add a few more here to the twine. I'm just going to hot glue some on here. This is just going to be a standing solar light. If you wanted to hang it, it'd be super easy to make a twine hanger and attach it to the twine that you wrapped around the neck of it. A little message in the bottle. And I think this is going to make a perfect little coastal solar light. This is what it looks like. It's super cute during the daytime. And then let me show you how it looks lit up. It actually gives you like a pretty cool pattern there. And I love the blue tint of the bottle. I think that's really pretty. And the little message inside is super cute. And the Dollar General size of the solar light works really well there on the top. It's almost the perfect width. It almost looks like a water bottle lid like that. Now for the next one, I picked up a square jar from Dollar Tree and some of the Shore Living starfish. And I want to make a really cool little kind of starfish lantern. I'm going to tint it with some of this Krylon sea glass, sea foam. I had a big trouble finding that. I actually ended up finding it at Hobby Lobby. Some of you guys were saying that I think Home Depot or Lowe's might have it. I wasn't able to find it anywhere, so I ordered mine online because we don't have a Hobby Lobby. And I can post a link to it below. I got a couple of bottles of it because I think it's perfect for coastal. You can frost in that beachy, like bluish green color, and it looks so coastal. So I turned my jar. It's right side up. I'm actually going to use it upside down in the process, but I don't want to get any of the frosting on the bottom of the glass because that is where the solar light's going to be located, and I want it to be able to be exposed to the sun without any of the frosting. So I just go all over all the sides. I gave it a pretty healthy coat of frosting. I really wanted that beautiful greenish color to shine through. I thought it would be a fun background that can light up with the solar light, but it's going to look great behind the Dollar Tree starfish. So I just take the solar light and do some hot glue on the plastic sides and just sit it inside, gluing it to the bottom of the jar. That's going to be the top. And then I don't really need the stakes or the plastic light part, so I just removed those and screwed the jar lid on. And so the bottom or the top of it, the light will still be able to come through and charge it. It's also going to protect the solar light, make it last longer. Now for the starfish, I'm just using one of the Shore Living starfish, hot gluing that to the front. I think that looks really pretty. And then I'm going to add some rope to the top and to the bottom to give it more of a coastal touch. I also didn't really like that you could see the hot glue there. I might not have been the cleanest, and maybe a different kind of glue might work better there, but I'm going to kind of mask it. You won't be able to see it, but I again don't want to cover up the panel for the solar light, so I left that part open. And I'm just using the Dollar Tree brown rope, the thinner rope, and spiraling that around. I'm going to cover all of the clear part on the top of the jar kind of make like a little bit of a rope lid for this light fixture. Just kind of having it start and stop the rope right here on the back of it. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the lid jar to kind of make the bottom of it have that rope too. And just one around is going to be plenty for this. Again, I start and stop on the back and just attach that with hot glue to the metal lid for the square jar. And that's what it looks like so far. I wanted to raise it up though, and I thought one of these would work great. These are like the concrete candle holders from Dollar Tree. And I'm actually going to use it upside down. It's kind of white and chippy, like concrete, but I like that. I think that looks coastal, and I think that's going to look really fun with this. So I just removed the label from the bottom. I'm going to have it upside down like this. So the jar is upside down, the candle holder is upside down, and I hot glue the metal lid to the jar onto the candle holder, and it's going to give it a nice heavy base to be outside. It's like a concrete material, so it should hold up well to the elements, and this is how it turned out. Isn't that frosting so pretty? It's like sea glass, and I think it's so pretty. This is what it looks like during the daytime, so it's really pretty, even during the day. Definitely has a coastal feel to it. And then let me show you how it looks lit up at night. That frosting, I think, looks really pretty. And the starfish is perfect. You could also use the Shore Living sand dollar. That would be really cute on there as well. You could even do a set of them. I love it. I think it turned out really cute. Okay, for the next DIY, I picked up one of the tall vases from Dollar Tree Plus. These are $3, but they're really big. And then one of the little beautiful jars from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to make a lighthouse. I've done another version of the lighthouse. This is how I'm going to make this one. I'm going to have that jar on the top for the light, and I'm going to have the vase upside down for the lighthouse part of it. So this is going to be a way larger version than the one that I made in my last video a couple of weeks ago. So if you want a smaller version, be sure to check out that video. I will have that video linked at the end of today's video. I'm going to frost this one again with the sea glass. I think that turned out really pretty. And so this has like a great like pattern. I think it's going to look really pretty lit up at night and provide a nice light pattern when it's lit up. But I thought it would be more special if I tinted it. So I'm tinting it that sea glass green color, but I just kind of do a light coat all over, nothing crazy. Again, because my spray paint was taking forever to dry. And then for the vase part, we're going to have it upside down like this. I'm just going to go ahead and remove the adhesive here from the bottom, so that will be nice and clean when I go to attach the light part to the top of my lighthouse. And we're going to cover it with some of the faux leather from Dollar Tree. I love working with this stuff. It's so easy. And I am just going to cover it. As you can see, even though it's the extra large vase, the faux leather is plenty big enough. I cut out a piece that's a little bit larger so I can kind of overlap that. And since the vase is straight up and down, it was really easy to attach this. There was no weird angles or anything like that. And I think this is going to be a really cute option for an outdoor solar light lighthouse. I just hot glue kind of my cut in first. That way you won't be able to see that. And my straight edge, I'm going to use that as my outer edge and hot glue that, overlapping that with the leather. I lined it up there with the bottom. I guess it would be the top of the vase. And then it's going to be a little bit long, so we are going to need to trim it down here at the top because I kind of want just glass on the top of it so I can glue glass to glass when I go ahead to put this together. So as you can see, it's really easy to cut the faux leather, and I think that's a great starter piece for it. But of course, I want to have some stripes. Now, you can always do like horizontal stripes. I'm actually going to do diagonal stripes, so I'm going to paint them on. You could also use ribbon if you had like a cool leather ribbon or something like that that would hold up well outdoors. I'm just using painter's tape and I spiral it around. Now the stripe's pretty small, so I want to do another set of spirals. So I just start again, kind of trying to place it about halfway between my first set and just working that all the way around, overlapping the bottom and kind of moving them around until they are centered and I am happy with the stripes. And we're just going to go in and paint that faux leather. It's super easy to paint. And so we'll have like that ivory stripe. And then I thought like a beachy blue stripe would be fun. The color I'm using is apple barrel cloudless. I thought that would look really pretty in contrast to that sea glass that we frosted the top of the light with. So I'm just putting a thin coat all over the leather of that beachy blue. Now, the faux leather at Dollar Tree comes in all different shades. They have like ivory, they have brown, they have navy, and they have black. So you can kind of do it to whatever colors that you wanted. I wanted to do another Lighthouse DIY video for one of my members on my YouTube channel, Melinda. Her mother, Gail, loved lighthouses, and it's almost the 1-year anniversary of her passing. She was a viewer here on my channel. They watch my channel together, and so I know she wanted me to do another lighthouse DIY. So this one is for you, Melinda. I really hope you enjoy this. And once I get a nice thin coat on this, I did go over it with the second coat because you kind of have to do with really thin coats of acrylic on the leather to make it not too splotchy. And we can start putting together the top while that dries. So the Dollar Tree solar light, I'm just using one of the silver ones. I'm just going to hot glue it to the top of the jar. If I go around like the inner edge, it's going to be perfect. The jar is slightly larger than the solar light, and I'm going to place that right on side. I usually take the little plastic part off on the inside because I don't really want the light focus there. I want the whole jar to light up. And I think this is going to light up really pretty. So this should be dry. We can go ahead and remove the painter's tape to reveal those great lighthouse stripes. And I think that looks really pretty. I love that color. It's my favorite. As you guys know, I use it all the time. I get that color on Amazon and also at Walmart. And I always have that linked, I think, in my Amazon shop because it's really inexpensive. You can get it for about the same price as Walmart, but get it shipped for you with Prime if you get it on Amazon. And I'm going to use some E6000 since I'm doing glass to glass to try to make it super strong. So I do the E6000 around the outer edge where it's going to have contact with the bottom of the vase that we're going to glue it to. And then for a little quick hold, I'm going to use some hot glue too, just by doing quite a large splotch of it right there in the middle. That way the E6000 can dry and be a little bit more permanent. Now I'm also going to add some rope to this for another coastal touch. It's going to kind of fill in the crevice between the light fixture at the top, or the jar, and the vase itself, and kind of top off the top of the leather part. So I just do one piece of that brown thin rope, hot gluing that all the way around. And I liked that so much that I decided to add more rope to the rest of it. So I'm going to go around the bottom. So just where my seam is on my leather is also going to be the seam on my rope. And I'm going to do one row of the brown rope around the bottom, just hot gluing that to the leather all the way around. And it just kind of finish it off, make it look more finished. Anytime I can add rope or twine or of course shells to something, it's definitely going to up the coastal factor. And then I thought that looked really good. And then I thought that I could actually make the top of the solar light wider to kind of make it more fit with the width of the entire lighthouse, if that makes sense. So I'm going to use some more of that brown rope. And what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap that around the silver solar light here at the top, basically covering all of it. So I start on the back where my seam was, and I'm just hot gluing that all the way around. I'm going to hot glue the whole thing down so it stays in place. And I use the Gorilla Glue hot glue. It usually performs pretty well outside, even with the elements here in Florida. I can't really complain. I think it's going to be great for the rope. But I definitely recommend like a super glue or the E6000 for your glass to glass hold to hold the whole thing together. So I just glued that all the way around. It was a little hairy, so I'm going to burn off the fuzzies on this one. And this lighthouse light is complete. This is what it looks like during the daytime. Super pretty with that jar. I think that makes a really cute top for the lighthouse. And look how beautiful that leather looks even painted. I love that because you have that same texture. And then let me show you what the lighthouse looks like lit up at night. I was so impressed the light not only went through the jar, but it also went through the vase. So you can see that the lighthouse itself is illuminated too a little bit. But the main light, of course, is at the top like a lighthouse would be. But that light was super bright in there. It really shined the whole thing up, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. The Shore Living bottles, I'm going to use that with one of the new candle holders from Dollar Tree as well. This one's already got that frosted bluish green color that I love. It's got a shell tied around it. I'm just going to add a solar light to the top of it. I thought that'd be really cute. And this one's going to be really easy. So I'm going to fill it up with some sand. I'm going to use some tan sand. You could probably get away with using white sand too, because you can't really see the color too much in there. And then just some of the little tiny seashells. These are the ones that come in the glass bottles from the Dollar Tree, which I've been having trouble finding. I know a lot of you guys have been having trouble finding that too. But I just checked on Amazon the other day, and you can buy a ton of those for next to nothing on Amazon. So if you can't find them at your Dollar Tree, check on there. You can get just a giant package of them. They're super inexpensive. And just a lot of seashells in the bottom. Again, it's already got like a plastic seashell tied around the neck of it with some raffia. And then I do a bead of hot glue all around the top and just stick the solar light on top. That's going to light it up for a little beachy scene in top. And since it's kind of small, we're going to boost it up and make it like a little outdoor light fixture by using one of these candle holders. This is like a glossy ivory color. I'm going to use some E6000 and hot glue in combination to attach this. I probably should have done that the other way. I don't know what I was thinking on that, but it worked. We got that glued on. And then I also want to give a little bit more texture. It's got the raffia on there, but I thought a little burlap would be cute too. So I'm just going to cut the burlap roll from the Dollar Tree and make my own size ribbon that's going to be the same width as the top of the solar light, and just hot glue that to the back of it and wrap it around. The metal looks fine, but anytime I can add like a little bit of a rope or a burlap touch, I'm going to do it because I think it looks really pretty and coastal. So it's like a little lamp for outside. I think it turned out really cute. This is what it looks like during the day. That little plastic shell in there is pretty cute. But as you can see, it looks really pretty in the day. And let me show you how it looks all lit up at night. I had to take these solar lights outside today to try to charge them so that I could show you these projects lit up at night. Now the next DIY, I'm just going to take one of the Dollar Tree mason jars and one of their hanging lids that has like a cutout. This one's a star. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to be able to see it. And a Dollar Tree solar light. Again, I don't really like the black color. I don't think that looks coastal. So we're just going to paint it. I'm going to use that same Sand Dollar Rust-Oleum color spray paint that I've used on other solar lights, and I am going to spray just the top of the lid and the handle, that ivory color. You can always paint with acrylic if you don't have spray paint, but I kind of had it out. It was all set up. I might as well use it, and it works pretty good on metal. Now we can start preparing the jar. It's just a regular size mason jar. It's going to fit that lid that we got there. And then I'm going to combine it with some of the fairy garden beach items that I got this year. This is like the little beach lounge chair with the hat. And there's even like a little beach sign. I think there's going to be plenty of room in the mason jar for both of them. I don't want them to move around or anything once I get it together. So I just attach them with hot glue to the bottom of my jar, making sure the numbers and stuff like that is on the back of the jar, so that won't be the front. And just hot glue both of those in place on the bottom of the jar, just like that. And they have so many fun options. You could do like seahorses, sea turtles, sand castles. They have so many cute things. And then I'm going to fill in the beachy area with Dollar Tree sand, kind of shaking it around, making sure that I have enough to cover the bases, but not too much. I don't want to cover up those cute decorations. And then just clean up them with a dry paintbrush. We'll get the sand off of them. And then this is the white lid. I'm just going to put it on there and screw this into place. It was a little tricky getting it started, but it definitely fit on there just fine. And now we can add the solar light. It can shine through that cutout on the top of the hanger. So the hanger is going to allow me to hang this up. And then the cutout is going to allow the light to shine through. I just do hot glue in between each one of the rays of the star and sit my solar light right there on top. The solar light is the silver. I could have painted it, but I'm actually just going to cover that with burlap too. So I'm just going to cut another piece of burlap ribbon down to size. I do cut off the edges on these because I like it to look all frayed, and since I'm cutting it skinnier than it normally is. And I was trying to start that one, did not want to start. I'm just going to have to cut it. And I just cut a strip that's going to be wide enough to cover that again. And I think that's going to look good. It's going to make it less of a contrast between the silver and the ivory lid, kind of make it look more intentional. And I just attach that by hot gluing it to the back and overlapping it. Super easy solar light DIY. You can hang this from a hook. You could hang this from a tree. You could sit it around on a table or on the ground. It's going to look cute. It has so many different uses, very versatile, and a great use for those little mason jar lids from the Dollar Tree. And anytime I can use some of those little fairy garden beach items, I am definitely going to. I think they're so cute. The little sign says beach welcome. It's got the little beach chair with the hat. And this is what it looks like lit up at night. It was super bright. With that star cut out, plenty of room to shine the light through. And the burlap definitely disguises that silver finish. It really looks way more intentional. It makes the jar look a little bit taller as well. Now this DIY is so simple. I picked up one of these little canister jars from the Dollar Tree. It's a square shape and it's nice and kind of flat. And I picked up some more fairy garden items. This is the flamingo and the palm tree. And then the only one I have left is one of the black solar lights. So we're going to make that work by attaching it to the inside of the lid. Again, I don't want these guys to fall over once I put it together. So I just hot glue down the flamingo and the palm tree, kind of alternating them left and right so you can see both of them from the front. And then again, just using some Dollar Tree tan sand to fill in the beachy area like that. And I didn't want to use anything too tall because we're actually going to have the solar light inside this jar since it has the hinged lid and it's going to fit in there. So I just make sure I have enough sand, and then I can't have a beach without seashells. So I'm just going to scatter out some more of those little tiny seashells from the Dollar Tree. And then it's just a matter of attaching this to the inside of the lid. You're not really going to be able to see it, so I think black's going to be fine on this. I just put some hot glue around all four sides and glue that to the top of the jar like that. It's plenty wide enough to fit it inside. It's going to protect the solar light as well and keep it nice and dry, but it's still going to allow the sunshine to get to it and charge the solar light. So this was a super easy solar light DIY, really versatile. If you wanted to hang it, you totally could. wrap some twine around there and make a hanger very easily. But I think this would be really cute for just like a little side table or even on the ground or patio area. And the flamingo looks really cute, lit up here at night. Very tropical, and I love pink flamingos. I'm going to have to do another pink flamingo DIY video for you guys. I know I have a lot of pink flamingo fans out there, just like me. But it was really easy DIY to make. Now, this is a fun summer bottle that I just found at Dollar Tree. I picked that up and just a plain silver-topped solar light. I like the fact that they're like plain silver around the edge of them this year and not like that diamond pattern. I also picked up some pink crushed glass since I have a lot of pink and fun going on this summer bottle. And this is such a fun, easy DIY. You can use it for summer decor. You can also use it for a summer party. I'm going to go ahead and put the whole bag of pink crushed glass in there. It's going to weigh it down since it's such a lightweight plastic bottle, make it a better piece for outdoors. But it's not going to take away from the design too much, and I think that crushed glass is going to look cute lit up at night. So then I just need to find a way to attach the solar light to the top. The Dollar Tree solar lights are a little bit bigger than what you're going to find at like Dollar General. They have a smaller one that I really like. If you don't want yours to be quite as big and bulky, but I'm going to show you how I get around that. So first I noticed that the crushed glass was a little dusty, so I'm going to give it a little dusting inside with some dry paintbrushes, try to get some of that dust off the sides, because the plastic really does kind of have like a clinging effect with that. And then I need like a wider base to glue this to properly. So I'm going to start with twine. And I just glue it to like where the bottle lid was screwed on this. And they have all kinds of fun summer patterns on these. I was just at Dollar Tree yesterday when I picked these up. I know they have back to school set at my store. And the only fall things they have so far are fall flowers. So my stores still have a lot of 4th of July. And they have a lot of summer stuff too. So I just glue that all the way to the top. It kind of gave me a wider base to glue the solar light on. I also cleaned it up to burn off any fuzzies just with a lighter. Now that I have like a little bit more room to glue to, I'm going to put glue around the plastic and the twine there all the way around. Just some hot glue and glue the solar light in place. I didn't really like how the top of the bottle was so skinny and my solar light was kind of big. So to kind of fill in that gap and make the transition a little bit more fun, I'm going to use some of the new macrame cord they have from Dollar Tree. And I have some in pink, so I thought that would go with my kind of pink theme on this. Very tropical. And just like the twine, I hot glued it. I'm just going to wrap it around. And I'm going to do that to kind of cover up my twine here. But it's also going to give me more of a transition between the width of the solar light and the bottle. And it just made it look way more balanced. So I was happy with it after that. I just cut and hot glue the end on there. Such an easy solar light DIY. Again, really fun for just summer decor. It's made out of plastic, so it's pretty durable as well. And it would be a great party solar light as well. I love Dollar Tree solar lights. They work really well for me. I've have some that I've been using for years outside here in Florida. So I highly recommend them. But summer vibes, less flamingo, very cute during the day. And look at that, how that crushed glass looks lit up at night. Beautiful. It really adds to this. These are cute. You could line like a path with these or anything like that. Really easy DIY to do. So don't forget about like the plastic cups like that in the summer section at Dollar Tree. You can make some really cute little solar light DIYs. And day and night. Now for the next one, I wanted to kind of do like kind of a coastal beachy one because I found a blue plastic solar light at the Dollar Tree. And I also picked up like an ivory candle holder, and I'm going to use some ivory spray paint to paint the top of it because it's black. And it's just a blue plastic dish. It doesn't have anything in it. And so these like solar lights are like maybe a little bit bigger, I guess, than the other ones. A little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and spray paint this so that it will match my candlestick that I'm going to be using for this project. I want it to look coastal, like the blue and the ivory. So again, I just taped off the solar light that's inside there, and I flipped it over. Propping it up on something kind of works better. And I painted the underside, and I did have a little bit of overspray, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that up. And since I had so much overspray with the paper tag method, I am going to use painter's tape this time. It's just a matter of cutting it, down to size where you're going to have straight edges. But I used some of that wider painter's tape from Dollar Tree. It was almost wide enough, but I am going to have to do a second piece to completely protect it. And this did work way better, so it's worth it. And then one more coat of this ivory spray paint on this. And anytime I can take the black on these and make it whatever color that I'm working with, the color pattern, it really does make a difference. So these are the pieces, just 2 items from the Dollar Tree. And then I just need to kind of glue them together. So it fits on there really well. I'm going to do the Gorilla Glue here along the outside of the plastic dish. And I think these are so cute. I found these in the same section that had like the golf ball, a dimpled one. And they are plastic, but the combination of that with that ceramic candle holder did make it heavier, and I think it's going to work well. And I know a lot of you guys have been looking for small seashells, so Dollar Tree has not been carrying them lately. I actually found this giant thing of seashells on Amazon. I will link this in my store. It even has some of the little starfish inside of it, which are great, but this is what they look like. They're just like the little shells from the Dollar Tree, so that's an option if you need to find them. I'm going to fill it up with some Dollar Tree white sand and then fill it up with just some seashells for the coastal look. And this giant thing of seashells was like $12.99. And I think it was like 1,200 pieces. So there's a lot of shells in there. So that is a good option for you. And I'll be sure to include it in my Amazon shop for you to make it a little bit easier. And I have that linked in the description of the video. Might as well put a starfish in there as well. That looks really cute. And then we can go ahead and put this on there. Let's make sure that the painter's tape held up. And as you can see, it did a way better job than just the tag. Just one little area of bleeding. I can go ahead and pop the lid back on there. A really simple coastal solar light with the sand and the seashells in there. Again, the ceramic candle holder really helped make it a sturdier, more substantial piece. But I think it turned out really cute. This is what it looks like during the day. And then let me show you what it looks like lit up at night. I love coastal solar lights. I've made so many of them on my channel. I can't resist. It's definitely one of my favorite things to make for you guys. But it was really easy to do. You could put some larger shells in there too. I think that would look really cute. And I just wanted something fun and coastal with this one. So again, this is what it looks like during the day. And this is what it looks like at night. It has a great pattern with those stripes on the side of the solar light. And this is another really easy solar light. I picked up a brass solar light this time from the Dollar Tree and one of these beautiful green glass vases. And I kind of just want to do a nature theme with these using that greenery there from the Dollar Tree. It's like a plastic foliage, but the leaves on there are really nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the tag there on the back of my bottle. This one's going to be so easy. It's just these 3 pieces could not be any easier. And it really gives you a beautiful natural feel that you could put this just about anywhere outside. It's going to look so cute. I'm just going to take off 3 of these little greeneries. I love that they just pop right off like that. That's my favorite. And I'm going to put them inside like that. I'm kind of going for just a nature forest theme. So I thought it would give it a little, forest floor too. Look, with a little bit of that brown floral moss from Dollar Tree to cover up the bottom of it. I'm just using a little skewer because it's a little hard to work with inside the glass because you can't really put your fingers in there. And then I just put all 3 of the little leaves in there and then just kind of rearrange them until I think they look good. Again, I like doing like an odd number. I think that looks good in there. And I just used a skewer to kind of arrange those until I was happy with them. And the combination of the green foliage and the green color of the vase really works well together, and it's going to light up a beautiful green. And I thought this brass color solar light would look really good with the green. It coordinates really well. The size of this vase is perfect for it as well. So I'm just going to do some of the Gorilla Glue around the top of the glass vase and then just put my little solar light there right on top. It really could not be any easier. That is all there is to it. Look how beautiful that looks. This would look great outdoors at your house. So easy to do. If you see some of that foliage, be sure to pick it up. But I love these colored glass vases. You could always use some like dishwasher safe Mod Podge and paint if you needed to tint yours your own. But I love the fact that they're already green from the Dollar Tree. And this is what I'm talking about at night. Look how beautiful green it shines since it is the tinted glass. And the greenery in there is so perfect. You could also do like some faux ladybugs or anything like that that you have in there if you have some from the Dollar Tree. That would be really cute as well. But super simple and oh so pretty. Isn't that nice? I really love that one. Okay, the next one, I'm going to do a coastal theme. So I picked up this water bottle with the sea turtles all over it from Dollar Tree. Sea turtles and coral. It's in with their summer section. And I don't think it's great for a water bottle. It's not insulated or anything, but I thought it would be a perfect solar light. So I also picked up some of the blue willow from the Dollar Tree. I thought that would be really cute coral in there and coordinate well. I'm going to fill up the bottom of the cup with some just tan sand from the Dollar Tree to give me that beachy floor. This is about how much I'm going to use. And then I thought this would look so cute lit up at night. This is that blue willow. It is really messy, so if you're going to be cutting on it, be aware it does shed a lot. But I'm trying to cut down a piece that's going to fit in there nicely. It is a really tall glass, so it's going to make a really tall solar light. And so I find that it fit in there pretty well as is. I did have trouble like kind of arranging it in there because I can't really get my hand in the cup because it is kind of a skinnier cup. But I'm just trying to arrange that in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut down another piece of faux coral. I've got this willow in all different colors from Dollar Tree. I just think it makes perfect coral. And I do like it better than the glitter coral, but you can always use that as well if that's all that you can find. And of course, a third piece of coral to fill this up. Again, I was trying to press the stem down into the sand. I did make sure they had a stem on there. I did find that using a skewer from the Dollar Tree worked really well for this. You could kind of pop a hole in the sand and put the willow down into it to make sure it stands alone and it's supported by the sand there at the bottom. And again, we're going to use some of those little tiny seashells from Amazon. And I just sprinkle some all over to give me a beach effect. This is the silver solar light from the Dollar Tree, just the plain one. And as you can see, it is the perfect size for this. I do want to cover the screw top for the top of it though, to make it look more decorative. So I just take some Dollar Tree twine and some hot glue, and I'm just going to wrap that around until I cover up all of the screw part. It's also going to give me a little bit more room to glue the solar light on top. And I've used twine and hot glue for the tops of many solar lights that I've done that I've had outside for 2 years now, and they seem to hold up pretty well. I like to use hot glue when I'm doing twine and fabric and stuff like that. I find that it does tend to hold up well. I do want all of it to be covered. I don't want any of the clear glass shining through. So I wrapped that quite well with a twine and then just use a lighter to burn off the fuzzies. And what I'm using for my twine there is a yarn dispenser from Dollar Tree. I've had a lot of you guys ask about that. Super convenient, and it keeps your twine clean and ready to go. I do a bead of hot glue all along the top and then just sit my solar light right on top. As you can see, it's the same width as the bottle and makes a perfect little sea turtle solar light. I had posted this bottle on my social media and said, this would make a perfect solar light. So I definitely wanted to bring this DIY to you and make it happen. And I think it turned out really cute. This is how it looks during the day. And then let me show you how it looks at night. The coral pieces in there give a great pattern all around the solar light if you're going to have it on a table or something like that. And then you're going to have all of your sea turtles and coral lit up just really nicely, really bright, and definitely a large solar light using one of these water bottles from Dollar Tree. So again, this is what it looks like during the day and at night. And that is 20 Solar Light Dollar Tree DIYs. I hope that you got lots of crafting inspiration today. You'll have to let me know in the comments below which DIY was your favorite. I always love reading all of your comments, and don't forget to check out my second channel, Crafty Little Beach, if you'd like to watch shorter clips on your phone. Enjoy the final reveal.
1, 2, 3. Remember when you told me that I should take it slow, but I can't stay when the world is waiting. I'm too used to being on my own. Hearts will break, but I have to chase it. I'm dancing on the edge again. The wind is calling my name. I'm dancing on the edge again. This time I'm not looking back, babe. You can change me, you can tell me down. I'll be back, goes in every place I find. I break the molds with rebels mind. I'm a hurricane, a free-born mind. I remember when you told me I should settle down, but these restless feet won't keep me grounded. The open road's the only place I found where I feel alive, and the stars will guide me. I'm dancing on the edge again. The wind is calling my name. I'm dancing on the edge again. This time I'm not looking back, babe. You can change me, you can tell me down. I'll be back, goes in every place I find. I break the molds with rebels mind. I'm a hurricane, a free-born mind. A free-born mind. A free-born mind. You can change me, you can tell me down. I'll be fat, goes in every place I find. I break the molds with rebels mind. I'm a hurricane, a free-born mind. You can change me, you can tell me down. I'll be fat, goes in every place I find. I break the molds with rebels mind. I'm a hurricane, a free-born mind. You can change me, you can tell me down. I'll be fat, goes in every place I find. I break the molds with rebels mind. I'm a hurricane, a free-born mind. Looking for my mother's eyes as I'm staying close to the mirror. A lock of gold, a secret smile lit was a believer. Sometimes I can feel her arms holding me as forever. Time changes everything, and everything will change in time. Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you. I see in you my mother's eyes, and I lay your head to my shoulder. A lock of gold, a secret smile. I will tell you when you get older. I place a hand upon your heart. Every beat is taking me over, and I will hold you in my arms. Pretend we'll stay here forever. Time changes everything, and everything will change in time. Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you. Je call, I fall. There's a legacy between us. We grow, we go, but in the middle, time changes everything, and everything will change in time. Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you. Looking for my mother's eyes as I'm staying close to the mirror.
I don't know where she came from. Kinda turned me upside down. I just don't know what to do. I wanna spend the night at hers and bring her one of my t-shirts so it smells like her perfume. Now I really get what the love songs are talking about, and I just wanna tell her how I feel, scream it out loud. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you were out of breath when you saw her in that dress? When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating and you can't stop looking at her smile, then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love. There's something about the way she laughs and the way she always dances when she thinks nobody sees. And when she's gone, I miss her so. I tell her, baby, please don't go. I think you should stay with me. And I really get what the love songs are talking about. Oh, and I just wanna tell her how I feel, scream it out loud. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you were out of breath when you saw her in that dress? When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating and you can't stop looking at her smile, then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love. Upside down, I just don't know what to do. I wanna spend the night with her, bring her one of my t-shirts so it smells like her perfume. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you were out of breath when you saw her in that dress? When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating, you can't stop looking at her smile, then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love.
In a world of green, just like a dream, you and I standing wild and free, with petals so golden, the sun's warm kiss, a love so strong, a bliss. Whispers of the breeze, secrets unfold. It's you that I need, it's you that I want. When the world gets cold, it's you and me. When the sun comes back, you'll see. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger each year. Look how we hold on through the toughest of times. We still stand strong. Through pavement we will grow. Forever we will grow. Deep within your eyes, I found a home. The love that we share can never grow. In your gaze, the world looks bright. Forever by your side. This town is quiet, serene and wide. You keep me warm and safe at night. No matter the season, we always bloom, 'cause you light up the gloom. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger each year. Look how we hold on through the toughest of times. We still stand strong. Through pavement we will grow. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger each year. Look how we hold on through the toughest of times. We still stand strong. Through pavement we will grow. Forever we will grow. Forever we will grow.
Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of today's video. It was a long one. And I also want to give a thank you to all of my YouTube members for supporting my channel. Thank you to Karen O'Haron, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Tracy Knight, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Donna Schreiner, I Am Mojo Jojo, Live Another Day, Maren Christensen, Adrienne Brolt, Debbie Middleton, Donna Tanner, Kim Rogers, Maria Cruz Pagan, and our newest member, Sarah Tratner. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. If you would like to become a Crafty Beach Bum member, all you have to do is hit the join button next to today's video. You're going to get early ad-free access to my content here on YouTube, a badge next to your name when you comment down below, and a shout out in every video. And I would love to see your DIYs. Make sure you're a member of our private Facebook group, linked in the description of today's video, and show off what you've been crafting, especially if you've made one of my projects. I always love to see that. Now, would you like more crafting inspiration, please check out one of these videos right here. And until next time, happy crafting!